Every time I come to the Opera House, I find it just lifts the spirit. You can't help it.
My role at the Sydney Opera House is Building Operations Manager, so I look after all the day-to-day maintenance activities on site. Everything we do on site, we try to do in a sympathetic way to ensure that anything that happens on site doesn't have any negative impact to Utzon's vision or the raw materials that make up the Sydney Opera House.
The Sydney Opera House is an exceptional place that aspires to achieve excellence in everything it does, whether that be in performance, visitor services, engineering, everything. The Conservation Management Plan sets out a framework in which this aspiration for excellence can be balanced with all of the demands of the place and the care and the conservation of its fabric and Utzon's vision.
Jan Utzon, a man who thinks and lives only for architecture. These days, only for the architecture of the Opera House.
It sits in a harbour with buildings of a square character, and you don't want to have the name Opera House written on it. You want to see this is an opera house like you see this is a church.
Utzon's design was quite remarkable, and it required a massive collaboration between a whole set of consultants, particularly the structural engineer of Arps and others. Together they actually pushed the boundaries of what was possible in engineering and construction much further than anything that had been done before.
This is a really big moment for us to launch the Conservation Management Plan Fourth Edition. And the reason it's so important is because it provides a range of functions. The first function is that it's a historical record. It sets out how the Opera House evolved since conception to now. It also importantly includes a history of the place known to the Gadigal as Tubagali, the place that's now commonly referred to as Bennelong Point. It's a document that deals with the everyday. How do we put on events? How do we clean the building? How do we maintain the building? And it's also really important now as we embark on some very major building projects to ensure that we really understand this history and we're completely respectful of what has come before, and we're guided as to how we undertake these changes, because these things will be here for generations to come.
The Conservation Management Plan is really the bedrock of how we get the balance right between conserving and preserving the heritage aspects of this building, not only for Australians but for the world more broadly, but also it's a modern performing art space.
All of the interiors, when the building opened in 1973, were designed by Peter Hall. One of the key things that the Conservation Management Plan seeks to do is to provide guidance on how the work of Jan Utzon should be treated and the work of Peter Hall should be treated.
Utzon himself envisaged that as a large multi-purpose structure, over time the building would need to change. In the Utzon design principles, which we're so lucky to have, he includes this sentence about as times change and techniques of the day change, so the building will need to change and adapt to those times. But it's really important that in doing that, we respect the original character of the building. Those were Utzon's words. The Opera House is a miracle. Every single day as I walk towards it from no matter what angle or walk inside it as a 3D jigsaw puzzle that it is, this massive sculpture, it's the most incredible gift. And this is about now how we care for that gift, how we care for it for the future and ensure that we hand it over in the best possible state to future generations.